Hello, everyone. This is Criminal Profiler Pat Brown, and this is Dear Profiler Pat, where you send me your questions and ask for advice, and I give some, and I always hope it helps you and the viewers. If you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. Check my playlist to see all the different areas I talk about, and if there are other questions that you might like some advice and opinion on. If you're new to, if you want to send me a request, do that and send it to profilerpatbrown@gmail.com and put in the subject line, Dear Profiler Pat. So I know that's what you're asking me for, is some advice. All right. Now, this question, Dear Profiler Pat, my friends dump me to go have fun. Are they really friends? This is actually not a question that came to me. Every once in a while, I see something else on another advice channel, and I just have something I want to say about it. So I'm borrowing this one from Harriet Cole off of the Mercury News. Title is The Bouncer Rejected Me and My Friends Went In Anyway. Dear Harriet, this is instead of Dear Profiler Pat, my friends and I are studying abroad in Europe, and we like to explore the party scene here. The clubs are strict. They have security guards, and apparently everyone expects you to wear high heels and tiny dresses, neither of which are really my style. Okay, I've been in Europe. I was in Denmark. Yes, there are clubs there where it's like you can't walk in. It's like a closed door, and there's very strict rules for you to go into the club. You have to be dressed a certain way. Even here in Maryland, my son worked as a bouncer in a club, and they wouldn't allow certain things in that club. You couldn't have pants hanging off your butt. You couldn't have wife beater, those white shirts that men wear. There were a bunch of things that were rules there. And because of that, they kept out a lot of some questionable people that would cause trouble. And the club down the street, they let everybody in. They were always having fights and knifings and all kinds of stuff. Police were always down the street at that club because the club my son worked at had strict dress rules. And so here the young woman is saying that, well, she likes to go to the party scene, but she doesn't want to dress the way the club requires. On 2 occasions, my friends and their tiny dresses were approved by the bouncer, but my mom jeans and I were not. Well, because on 2 occasions, how long does it take you to learn your lesson? It's a club. It's a club where they want people to be dressed appropriately for that club scene. Mom jeans is not one of those things that's allowed. And now you've had 2 times and you keep wearing mom jeans. Maybe this is not a place for you to go to because you don't even match what's going on in there. I was embarrassed, but the fact that my friends decided not to go in made me feel a lot better. Oh, good. You ruined the evening for your friends. That's really cool. I was thankful for them until they started encouraging me to dress differently so we could all get in. Well, yes, because they want to go to these clubs and didn't want to leave you out. They're saying, hey, come on. Maybe if you did put these little clothes on, you can get into the club and have fun. Now, maybe it's not your idea of fun being dressed that way. And if it's not your idea of having fun dressed that way, you say to them, nah, you just go ahead. It's not my scene. Obviously, I don't fit there. So you go ahead and have a good time, and I'll do other things with you. But that's not what she said. So they badgered me about what I intended to wear days in advance. I guess because they didn't want to go out with you and waste their time having you turned down again. And if I didn't go with the outfits they picked, they would get really annoyed because why would they? The 3rd time I was turned away by a bouncer, my friends asked if I was okay to head home alone. I was shocked. I thought we would all leave and go somewhere else like usual. Well, I guess you kept ruining their evenings and making them go someplace they didn't want to go. And they went ahead with that because, well, I'm going to say they're pretty good friends. You, on the other hand, are not. And she says, and I guess they prefer fun over friendship. No, they prefer having a decent friend, and you are not one of those. Am I in the wrong friend group? No, they're in the wrong friend group because it includes you. You're a terrible person, quite frankly, and you need to look at your own behavior. Because if you are ruining your friend's time because you already know what everybody wants to do, and it's always got to be your way or the highway, is what I'm seeing. Now, it seems to me they were kind of willing to go to a club that was not as fancy just so you could go in. You could make a suggestion. Hey, girl, you go ahead, have fun tonight. Maybe another time when we go to a lesser dressy club, I'll join you. And they might say, hey, okay, thanks. That's great. We're going to go do that. Maybe next week we'll go to the place you like. Oh, That would be nice, wouldn't it? I don't think you suggested that. I think what you suggested is they do everything your way. And this is a problem some people have. And if that's your problem, you got to think about it. Do you have friends who, for example, let's say everybody's in the mood for a steak dinner, but you're a vegetarian? Do you say to them, well, I don't want to go to the steakhouse. I don't even want to smell that meat. So you're going to ruin their evening. Everybody has to now go someplace else because you don't want to go there. Well, you have two choices, in my opinion. One is you say, I'm happy to go with you because I like your company. I'm sure I'll find somebody to eat. You can have that baked potato. You can have a salad. There's always something to eat. Maybe it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but you can find something. Maybe another time you say, hey, maybe another time you might want to try my veggie restaurant. And they might say, that's really nice. We'll go do that because you came to our steak restaurant. So if the group wants to do something, you don't ruin their time every time because they're not doing it your way. They're not going to the place you want to go to or the kind of music you want to hear or whatever. You're just going to always say, if I don't want to do it, everybody else has to not do it. That is not being a friend to them. And they should dump you as a friend, quite frankly. And if you have a friend like this, if that's one of these people you keep trying to over and over and over, try to please and everything, it's always about them. It's always about them. It's always about what they want. And you're always having to compromise. You might want to get rid of that friend because they're not a friend. They're not a friend at all. They're selfish, maybe narcissistic. They don't care about your needs at all. They only care about what they want. And I would say if that's the kind of friend you're dealing with, you might want to find better friends. So to the woman who was mad at her friends for not going for the third time to another club, yeah, you're the problem, not them. And if that's a similar thing that's been happening to you, you're the problem, not your friends. And if you have a friend like that, she's the problem, not you. So those are my thoughts on this. If you've been there, done that, and had to deal with it, put your comments below and let us know what you did. And it'll be interesting to see. Thank you for being here again. Do subscribe to the channel and support the channel because that's what subscribers do. Thank you for being here. Bye.